Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of The Zone, the brand new show exclusive to HaloZone, where I and two of my wonderful guests will discuss all of the latest topics suggested by you, the viewers, from the comment section below, as well as at the end we'll have a quirky or interesting question submitted by Twitter. I'm your host, the Mighty Pnut, and joining me today are the fabulous Ditty.
Hello.
And the HaloZone founder himself, Mr. Legit HD.
Hey, what's up?
Well, that's exciting. I've got some nice faces that people will hopefully recognise, so I think we should get straight on with the episode. Obviously, the topic we're going to be talking about is Halo 4. A lot of people have been talking about this. Obviously, it's what everyone in the Halo world wants to hear about. No one wants to hear about, like, DMR Bloom at the moment and stuff like that. So I think the obvious place to start would be, there's been a lot of speculation about everything, every single aspect of Halo 4 which has been released. There's been speculation on. So from the information you've kind of been trawling through Reddit and 4chan, I don't think there's any Halo 4 stuff on 4chan, but trawling your HaloBungie.orgs and whatever your sources are, or even just watching Green Skull videos. But what are your first impressions of what you've seen? Ditty?
I'm loving everything I'm seeing so far. I really like the direction that 343 is taking the Halo series. I think they're the right company to really reinvigorate some life into this series, I think.
So you don't think they're just going to bugger it up like a lot of people are saying?
Nope. I have complete faith in 343.
That's good, because they are, I believe, made up of original, or at least the founding 343 people are original Bungie devs, which is, you know, that's nice. If anything, I think this is going to be more Halo-y than Halo Reach and Halo 3. But Legit, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely, I think 343 is going to do great. I mean, it's still Halo, so I know I'm going to love it, but I don't know, because people are like, of course there's like the haters who are saying it's other copies, other games and stuff like that, but I don't care. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I think we can probably compare it to music. It's like you can't have one genre of music that doesn't borrow anything from anything else. I mean, that's just not possible, and I suppose it happens a lot with game series. It used to be, not naming any game series in particular here, but COD. COD stealing everything of Halos and other things like that. Engage Troll War. And I suppose if we do take anything from COD, I think it's more like borrowing back than, you know, blind theft. And to be honest, if it makes it more fun and better, I think that's a good thing. Now, one thing that people have been speculating a lot about, because I think we've had not a huge amount of information on this in particular, it's definitely one of the main things that I buy Halo for. I'm sure it's one of the main things that people remember the original Halo games for. The campaign. So, from what you've seen so far, again, we don't have a huge amount of information. I suppose, what direction do you think the campaign should go in? You know, what kind of gameplay do you expect to see? Legit, I'll start with you this time.
Well, I'm super excited for the campaign. I mean, Master Chief's story, and I heard they're going more in depth, like, on the character itself, Master Chief, and Cortana, and I don't know, I'm just super excited about, like, every aspect of the campaign. I think the story's gonna be amazing, as usual.
And you've read a lot of the books too, right?
I have read every single Halo book, so yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy.
I'm a big storyline guy.
I think I'm yet to read the books, but I think, instead of asking the same question, I'll say, Ditty, what do you think to them going more in depth on the background of Master Chief's story? It's almost like giving a backstory in a Clint Eastwood film. It's almost a little bit weird. Do you think it'll detract from, you know, the masked figure, Master Chief? Do you think it'll take some of the magic away if we delve more into his past? Or
honestly, I think it's what Halo fans have been crying for since the first one. They've really want to really learn about the Master Chief, in my opinion. I mean, there's going to be that select population that disagrees with me, but I think that more people will want to learn about the Master Chief's more personal side of his life, and how he's, I guess, evolved as a human throughout the series. And I think Master Chief's storyline and Cortana's storyline, because, you know, if we, as we know from the Game Informer article, Cortana's lifespan as a smart AI is slowly coming to an end, so there's going to be lots of internal conflicts between Master Chief and Cortana, so it'll be a really interesting storyline, to say the least.
that would be quite interesting, because I know there was always like a human side to Master Chief, but it was never really that personal. Whereas like with Noble Team, I think in Halo Reach, I felt more of a human connection with the characters, obviously because there's more of them, and it seemed a bit more
There was more dialogue between the characters.
Yeah, there was more dialogue. There was a lot more in depth about their relationship between them. Whereas Master Chief is always just a badass who goes and I almost said it, a family show, a badass who goes and tears off aliens' faces, and it's never been delved into so much. So I think having a human side will definitely add a lot more depth into the story. Anything to say, Legit? Or should
well,
continue?
I do agree with most of what you guys are saying, but honestly, I'll be quite disappointed if they... I doubt they're going to do this, but if they, like, take off the mask, the helmet, and you see, like, this 50-year-old bald guy, that'll be, not something I want.
I think that 343 are hardcore Halo fans enough to understand the repercussions of revealing the Master Chief's identity.
Yeah. But it goes back to what I said before, that it might take some of the mystery away from it, which was quite fun, I suppose, before, of guessing. You know, half the fun was guessing who this person is and what kind of a person he is. I think if they downright in your face revealed it, it's kind of like the spoiler of the century is.
It might actually kill the series.
Yeah.
I'll say it right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be a bad idea. So, I think if we're done on story mode, because it is a completely massive topic, but so we don't have a huge amount of time, and we don't actually know a massive amount of information on the campaign as of what's been revealed so far. So what's, I think, more on people's lips in the campaign at the moment is definitely the multiplayer, because we've been seeing a lot more screenshots and even gameplay on the Conan show. So Ditty, yes, I'll start with you.
Just
Gameplay.
My thoughts on the multiplayer?
Multiplayer, yes. What do you think? What do you think it's going to be like? Same sort of question as before.
I think that even though they might be adding some, I'll just say it, COD-like mechanics to the game, whereas loadouts and I guess weapon traits, I'll say that. That's not really what they are, by the way, if anybody doesn't know. But even though they're adding some type of mechanic like that, I think that it'll work in the Halo setting. I mean, I haven't seen too much about it, and I'm going to wait until I see a lot more gameplay to make my own opinion. I just think that the multiplayer, if we get the same thing over and over again, people will not want it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
that makes perfect sense.
Something needs to change. Something needs to evolve in the multiplayer universe. I mean, it can't change it drastically, right? They still need to keep some of the core functions and make it feel like Halo, but there needs to be some type of evolution in the series to keep it moving and keep it interesting. So I think that these additions are going to be more beneficial. Right.
Actually, just to come back on what you said about new features being added, possibly, almost COD-style features, they haven't been done before. I think it's very important that they haven't been done in a Halo game. They haven't been tried. Like when the armor abilities in Reach came out, a lot of people had a lot of trepidation about, is this going to ruin it? And I really love what they did with things like Sprint and even Hologram. I really love. So stuff like that, I think, worked really well because they dared to try it. If people have been if Bungie had been so cautious at the time and said, we'll just produce another Halo 3, I think it would have been terrible. Legit, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I agree. Change is good. I mean, but you always get the hardcore fans that don't want anything to change, and I don't think that's, like, logical, really. I mean, just games have to evolve, or else you'd be playing the same game over and over again. I mean, I don't see the point in that, so I'm glad they're changing some things, adding some minor differences, but it's still Halo, so yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Actually, I think one of the reasons I loved Halo 1 is it was this amazing new thing that I hadn't really played anything like it before, and then Halo 2 came out, and I remember when I first found out about Halo 2, this guy said to me, "Oh my god, you know what they're having? They're having dual wielding," and I was just thinking, "Oh my god, that's crazy." And at the time, a lot of I was a lot younger, so I probably wasn't as involved as a lot of the people are involved with the series now. So I think it was almost that kind of attitude of what's going to happen with some people. But I loved the fact that there was new features. If they said, we're going to bring out Halo 1 again, but with better graphics and different enemies, I would just been like, you know what, I'll give it a miss. And that's probably what made me buy Reach, and what made me, I think I still play Reach. I might even have played it more than Halo 3 now, just because it's so different, and I quite like that evolution. Now, actually, while we're on the subject of multiplayer and changes to the game, Ditty, I understand you are more informed than me with actual specifics of what's going to be changed, and I suppose it would be better to put it in context of not just speculating on rough generalizations. So, Ditty, if you have any more specifics about what is going to be changed.
Yeah, just a couple things. The favorite things that I mentioned are how the armor abilities work in Halo 4, because that's a huge center of controversy in Halo 4 from Halo Reach, because a lot of people didn't like the armor abilities in Halo Reach. In
like
Halo
Armor Lock
4,
being horrendously overpowered.
Right, Armor Lock is not in Halo 4 for anybody who's not informed. It's not going to be in there. 343 is just said, take it out. It slows the game down. So the armor abilities are actually being built around each other. They're going to have pros and cons acting on one another. Basically,
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I actually I said that in one of the videos on my own channel, not to plug myself or anything, but there's armor abilities have pros and cons towards each other. Like in the 343 Sparkcast, which is their podcast, which is available free on iTunes, so you can listen to it. They have they mentioned that
plug
Forerunner. Hey, I'm just trying to help people get informed. So they mentioned that Forerunner vision. A lot of people are skeptical about that. Oh, it's X-ray vision, you know, everything. They say that there are some counters to it, which makes me think that, oh, they have camo in the game too. Maybe camo can counteract Forerunner vision. That's not confirmed. I'm just saying that's the possibility.
I really can't wait to see what goes on.
So my whole point in this, I guess, lecture is that the armor abilities are being balanced around one another. They're not just thrown in like in Halo Reach. I think Bungie just dropped them in to add this new mechanic, but they weren't really tweaked around each other. So, and then with 343's addition of Sprint as the default ability, everybody's going to have that extra mobility. They don't have to sacrifice verticality with a jetpack or mobility with a Sprint. They're all going to have Sprint, so it's going to be a little more of an even playing field.
Actually, now just quickly on the jetpack before we, you carry on. Is a jetpack confirmed, or is it just going to be a thruster pack for 0G maps? Is there any news on jetpacks, or is it?
We don't know 100%, but I'm feeling more that it's going to be a jetpack, not just a booster. That's not confirmed for anybody taking hard notes, writing it down on tablets, but this is not confirmed information, but I feel that it's going to be more of a jetpack than a booster pack.
I actually really kind of like the jetpack in Halo Reach. I know it's very irritating in certain game modes, but I think it does add a different level, especially to maps like, is it Solitary? Mm-hmm. You know, the old Prisoner remake, where it's got so many different levels, and it really takes a while to get from one to another. Yeah. So it definitely, if people are talking about, you know, speeding up gameplay and getting rid of armor lock for that, I think jetpacks will be quite a nice addition. It's specific, you know, to some game types and very carefully placed, but I would like to see them come back. Ditty, I'm sorry, were you finished? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just had one more thing, just to touch on what you said. The armor abilities in Halo 4 and the maps, how they're going to work with the maps. The maps are being designed, and they're going to accompany this extra mobility. They're being designed in tandem with the armor abilities. So the maps are being balanced with the armor abilities, which are being balanced against other armor abilities, so everything flows really well. So that'll probably put some people at ease, because there's one argument saying that jetpack breaks up a lot of setups in Halo Reach, because the maps don't really accommodate for a default jetpack, and the maps in Halo 4 are going to be designed around extra mobility that the armor abilities introduce.
Oh, cool. Well, that sounds pretty awesome. But as awesome as that is, I think that's all we've got time for today, so I guess we're going to have to start ending the video around now. So I guess in closing, I'm going to have to quickly wrap this up. If you did enjoy the first ever episode of The Zone, you'll have to subscribe to HaloZone, because you'll only find it here, not anywhere else. Notice the topic we set ourselves today was obviously by ourselves, because no one could tell us anything else, but if you want to get your own topic on a future show with a nice little screenshot of your comment, just put it in the comment section below. We'll accept anything, really, as long as it's kind of on topic and serious. If you want to submit us an off-topic question, something out of the ordinary or funny, then you can either do at Pnut5000, at the Legit HD, I believe, there'll be links below, or, of course, our favourite method is the HaloZone forums. If you're not signed up already, then quickly get yourself over there, and we'll have a nice thread linked. So, a big thanks to the guests who've joined me today, Mr. Ditty.
Always a pleasure.
And Legit HD.
Yup, it was fun.
It's been an absolute honour having you all on the show. And in closing, it is the odd question of the episode by Mr. Danny. If you're watching this, Danny, I'm not sure about your Twitter name or anything like that, but how far have you gone with a dog?
Far enough. Use your imagination on that one.
I'm a cat person.
Well, okay then. On that note, I hope to see you guys next week. Leave your feedback and suggestions for topics in the comment section below. From me and my guests, it's a goodbye for now. Until next time, when I hope you can join us for another fine episode of The Zone.